I've just got to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
One thing I've learnt from spending time with Sigourney is that sometimes it pays to pander to a man's ego. Like, he needs to feel fully confident if he's going to fully perform. So, next time you bring a boy home, why not make his night by telling him you're a virgin? You might want to practice in the mirror a couple of times so you don't crack up when you say it. This is my first time. This is my first time. And there you have it. You don't have to worry about sounding too convincing. By the time he gets to that stage, he'll have so many hormones in his brain, he'll believe anything. And thanks to your newfound faux virginity, he won't get performance anxiety because he thinks you've got no one to compare him to. And when you start using your Kama Sutra moves on him, he'll just think you're incredibly talented instead of incredibly experienced. This is my first time.
Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of you.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. See ya.
I didn't want to people sort of think that, you know, I'm promiscuous, that kind of thing. So sometimes you do something like that to say to people, you know, this is, you know, my first time, or, you know, that kind of thing.
It's good for guys, you know, because guys can easily pretend that they're virgins, you know. But for girls, I think it's harder, you know. It can be easily discovered.
No, I don't think I would do, and I don't think I actually look too much like a virgin, and yeah, I don't think I'll come across as a virgin at all.
Hey, if you've been paying attention, then you should know by now that on life support, I'm the one showing you the coolest techniques to take advantage of other people. It's such an important part of life. Well, today I'm going to show you how to double the number of people you can take advantage of overnight. All you have to do is become a lesbian. Come with me, I'll show you how. Becoming a lesbian isn't a big deal. You can still have sex with men. Most lesbians do, except for the ugly ones. Because having sex with men is still the best way to get ahead at work. But having sex with women can be useful too. Look, basically, the rule of thumb is, if you want to screw with someone's head, you've got to screw them first. If having sex with another woman doesn't turn you on, that's no reason not to do it. There are several ways to psych yourself up to go down. First of all, do your research. Watch your porno. They've always got lesbians in them. Then, step 2, get really drunk. Everything seems like a better idea when you're off your face. Then when it comes to the crunch, just lie back, close your eyes, and let her do all the work. Women are naturally selfless, so she'll probably go along with it. Once she's your doe-eyed love slave, it's all plain sailing. Lead her to believe you're sleeping around because you think she's fat, or make her feel you're embarrassed to be seen with her because she says stupid things. Don't worry, you'll instinctively know how to manipulate her. Basically, do to her everything a man's ever done to you.
I've got to go.
Oh, before you do, you still haven't given me your PIN number. This isn't much use without it, Pumpkin.
1585. See ya.
See ya.
I mean, everybody loves you when you buy and, you know, and all that, but I don't know. I don't know if I just could be bothered. Like, I'll find other ways instead of using my sexuality.
I don't know. If the incentive's right enough, I might be able to sleep with a man, but I wouldn't think so, like, just right now.
I wouldn't do it, but, I mean, girls always look better on other girls, so why not?
You know, I'll say to my girlfriends, oh, hey, you know, she's all right. Oh, she's really pretty, actually, like that. But not, you know, hey, I'll, you know, try and get her in that sort of frame of mind and, you know, try and use her or anything like that, no.
There's nothing worse than migrating to a pad where the previous tenant was gullible enough to believe that rag finish walls look good. And your landlord's not going to pay to have the walls repainted because technically they are freshly painted. You could do it yourself, which would involve expensive paint and back-breaking labour, but if you can't be asked, don't worry, because I've found a quick, cheap and responsible way to get that redecorating done. First of all, get hold of a box of spray paint. Make sure you've got the right protective gear. Then just let the local kids know that your place is available as a safe chroming house where you supply the aerosols. Most people think that the youth of the nation are just a bunch of lazy, useless bums, but all they really need is the right motivation and the right working environment. So, close all the windows and doors and let your inhalant interior decorators get to it. You probably don't know it, but chroming can create feelings of stimulation, excitement, giddiness and delusions of grandeur, which are all the signs of a good interior decorator. Now, there are a few things you should know before you let anyone do this on your premises. Firstly, make sure you use an enamel paint, which contains the right chemicals. Most brands are clearly marked for your convenience. Secondly, make sure your panting painters start at the top of the walls because the higher they get, the lower they're going to go. And you don't want to end up with some half-assed, half-finished job, so keep an eye on them. If they look like they're struggling, give them a hand. Move them into the recovery position. Might also be a good idea to put some drop sheets like these down, because while you don't want anyone choking on their own vomit, you totally don't want it all over your floor either. And that's all there is to it. Turn your living room from this into this. You get a new look for your living room in half the time and for less than half the price. And you can start building a real sense of community in your hood by letting the kids know that the next time they take a trip, they've got you for travel insurance. See ya. Tonight on Child Watch, I want to talk to you about school bullies. Bullies have always been a problem, picking on the weak and different just because they can. Every day, hundreds of kids live in constant fear of being physically or, if they're lucky, verbally abused. So, if you're the victim of school bullying, don't worry, because here's the solution. All you have to do is keep a diary where you plan a school massacre, making sure that you clearly and repeatedly name each bully as a potential target. Then just leave the diary somewhere to be discovered. And once word gets out that there's a planned revenge shooting, the bullies should stop their bullying. Now, this sounds easy enough, but there are a few tricks to making this work for you. Firstly, never use your name in the diary. Always refer to yourself as I. There are two reasons for this. Firstly, the diary can't be traced back to you. And secondly, chances are these bullies are picking on other kids too. So if they don't know who the potential trigger man is, they're going to have to be nice to everyone. Then, just to be sure, make sure you don't use your own handwriting. Type everything out on computer and cut and paste it into this book. Sure, that takes time, but cutting and pasting makes it look like you're totally preoccupied with revenge, and everyone will take the whole thing more seriously. You might also want to include some newspaper clippings of other revenge shootings, just to show where you got your inspiration from. And make sure that the guns you claim to use in your planned attack are easily available in this country. You don't want to blow the whole thing by claiming to own a gun that you saw on telly, only to find out that it doesn't really exist. So do your research. Your best bet is to go for something that's not too fancy, a gun that anyone would own. And there you have it. A cheap, easy and crafty way to keep those bullies at bay. And not only have you saved yourself, but every other kidded kid too. And you've given the bullies a taste of what it's like to live in constant fear. See ya. Drugs can ruin your life. I'm sure they feel good. And all that stuff about them being bad for your health is just government propaganda. But the downside of getting high is that drugs are really expensive. So, for the sake of your bank balance, I'm going to show you a great way to get free drugs whenever you want them. Simply join the police force. Once you've filled in a couple of forms, taken a couple of tests and completed a few months of basic training, the government will give you a handgun and put you out on the streets. Now, if you can't get a good deal from a dealer once you're on patrol, you should have no troubles getting fixed up back in the police station locker room. Oh, she looks like she's on something good. See ya. Hey, mate, where'd you get your stuff? These suicide bombers in the West Bank sure do get a lot of publicity. When you think about it, blowing yourself and a bus full of people to smithereens really is the ultimate publicity stunt. I'm surprised Richard Branson hasn't done it. So, if you've got a product or business that you want to promote, why don't you give it a go?
Of course I'm not advocating that you kill yourself. That'd be stupid. But think about it. Australia already has one of the world's highest youth suicide rates. If kids are killing themselves anyway, why not harness their marketing potential? You'll be doing them a favour if you don't let them die in vain. Meet Brian. He's 17 years old and lives 100 k's from the nearest person his age. He's lonely, tired of living up to his parents' expectations, and he's pretty sure he's gay. And out here, there's no one to talk to about it. So Brian has decided to end it all. Great news for me, because I want to raise the profile of my babysitting business. Now, I'm just going to get Brian to make a quick video, something that I can give to the TV networks to run on their various news bulletins. Go ahead, just say what I told you to say.
Penny's a really good babysitter. Call her on this number.
And cut. Perfect. Okay, you got your student concession card? Good.
Goodbye, Penny.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't want to be you. Oh, remember, it's the red button. And that's all there is to it. All publicity is good publicity. And the best way to promote your business is to make a lot of noise. See ya. I love hitchhiking. It's such an affordable way to travel. The only problem is, hitchhiking has received such bad press, and as a result, the only people game enough to pick you up will be psychopaths, serial killers, and kidnappers. Ah. Thanks, mate. Which shouldn't be a problem, as long as you kidnap them first.
So where you want?
Now that I've made him harmless, I can take my time and enjoy the drive without having to worry about paying for my trip with my life. Sure, technically I've committed one of the most serious crimes, but really there's no harm done. He wakes up 500 k's later, well rested and ready to continue with his drive. So if anything, I've done a public service, helping this driver to stop, revive, survive. See ya. In the roulette game of life, we're all waiting for the ball to drop into our slot. That's why we read our horoscopes in the paper. Of course, most of us know it's all crap, but there is a percentage of the population out there that actually believe in these mystics and psychics. These people are called bored rich housewives. Sadly, the only way many of these bored rich housewives can get spiritual is by slowly drinking themselves into oblivion in their well-appointed mansions. The good news is that these same women are willing to throw away good money to get a spiritual leg up. So, grab your coat of many colours, hang a shingle in the top end of town, and get your slice of the paranormal pie. In 1982, the federal government passed a bill called the Freedom of Information Act. Since all the other states have followed suit, you now have legal access to all the juicy and profitable tidbits of information floating about. If you're willing to wade through lots of files and bureaucracy, you can get your hands on all sorts of dirt and make it work for you. Place an ad in a local upmarket rag. Then when they leave their name and address on your answering machine, you'll already have leads to go to work on. By the time they log in for their reading, you should already have hit internet databases, the Land Titles Office and family law court transcripts to find out plenty of information about your client. On the basis of this information, combined with signals from their bored, rich body language, I can make all sorts of educated guesses. Remember to keep it ambiguous, and they'll answer all their questions for you. Come, Lena. I am sensing by your aura you're about to engage in a money transfer?
Yes, Madam Penny. I have your money here.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sensing some disquiet with your husband. See ya.
Stop it, Lacey, stop it, Lacey, stop it, Lacey!
It has a particular blue...
Having a big brother can be a real pain in the ass. For most of us, it rounds out to about 10 years of hitting, spitting and verbal abuse. And after trying everything to stop the imbecile, you soon realise that there's just no reasoning with a dumb animal like that. But don't worry, sister siblings, because there is a simple way to stop that tormenting permanently. All you have to do is install a concealed closed-circuit camera in your brother's bedroom. So you can record some of his more tempestuous self-love sessions. Just make sure you position it so you get a good shot of his bed. Then the next time he's hitting, teasing or just annoying you,
Break me! Alright then.
simply show him the video you have. Then tell him that if he doesn't leave you alone, you'll post the footage on the internet. Then the whole world can watch him go for a gallop, not to mention his back-breaking attempts to blow himself. Remember, it's a good idea to make more than one tape. At his age, that shouldn't be a problem. And make sure you stash them away somewhere so he can't find and destroy them. And that's all there is to it. You'll find that not only will he leave you alone now, he'll bend over backwards to be nice to you anytime he can.
I'll squeeze you some orange juice.
Oh, thanks.
Not only that, but you've denied him his most simple pastime pleasure. There's no way he'll be game to have another go now. See ya.